Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Laststandgamers, and welcome. So today we're taking a look at another absolutely spectacular ship from the Steam Workshop. Now, this is a Mass Effect frigate, and you can see it's got some lovely elements of detail, and we're going to take a look around it as well as taking an interior tour. And as usual, there'll be a link down in the description below of this ship if you want to check it out for yourself. Now, the first little warnings I'm going to give you, it is a completely vanilla build, but thruster damage has been turned off so that thrusters can actually be tucked with inside the design, so you're not going to be seeing it in a survival world anytime soon. So let's have a look at the front of the ship here. Now, when you take a first glance at this actual ship, I actually thought that the front of the ship was going to be facing out towards this spire, but this is actually the rear of the ship. That's quite cool. So you can see we've got the bridge area here, has this sort of square-like housing, but you can see how it's been flanged out to either side, and they've got these sort of areas that accommodate for the actual circle itself. So it has a very small silhouette from the front, but does look quite menacing, almost like an arrowhead. And then we get into the area that I really adore. I just love it when people account for areas like this where they put in something round, they put something moving into it, just really drawing your eye to a segment. So you can see it's rotating extremely slowly, and you can see how it's been recessed in this area here as well. So if we actually go in here, you can see it's just a simple rotor and it's on a spoke. How well this would behave in a multiplayer battle, I don't really know. And from inside here, you can see access ways to the corridors on either side, so you can have a look out at the wheel as you go in through the ship itself. And the access ports through various areas are very simplistic. It's a simplistic design. The only sad thing about it is that the thrusters aren't on the outside, because if they were, it means that it'd be a very competitive sort of survival design. So as we work our way down to the center of the craft, we've got the various segments. We've got a lot of detailing going on in this section with some cut down blocks, as well as some blocks that have just been halved or stuck onto the side, and they're just creating that detailed from the distance as we see on so many other designs, as well as another access port here. Now in the lower segment, you can see that they've created this really cool antenna array. Just notice how they've used these half sort of lights cut down in various different areas, creating a little bit of a blue glow, as well as detailing from a distance that's just really nice. It's popping towards the eye. And then we've got these areas on the back here. So what we've actually got with these individual sections is merge blocks connected to these, what I can only guess are little pods that could be used to transfer cargo or other sort of devices. Who knows what exactly could be used, but they seem to have some sort of color coding going towards them that just really looks nice. It's quite catching to the eye. So then as we reach the rear area here, you can see we've got ourselves this rear cabin. So let's enter into the actual ship itself now, where there's not too much to see on the rear segment. You can just see it's been sloped down like that. There's no thrusters or anything else going on there. And we pop into the actual cabin and we enter into this very quite dark walkway through the center of the ship. And since it's going to be mainly transporting cargo, it's a frigate, so it might have some light battles on its hands. But you can see we've just got this centralized corridor going through the middle with not too many windows or lights. So as we come into this section, this is where it gets a little bit complicated. To make the most use of space, they've decided to split the segments up with these floor type tile blocks. And by doing this, that means they can create med bays, type sort of bedding areas, and various areas for the crews to actually fit around. You see the oxygen tanks have been stored in there as well. They've made the best use of the tiny amount of space that they've actually got. So you can see that door comes out into that segment. It would be nice to have a few more windows, but they're just trying to do that Mass Effect design and replicate it to the best of their ability. So in here, we have access to this lower area. So if we just pop down into here, you can see we can access this area and do some basic sort of maintenance to the conveyors and whatnot. Very nice indeed. And then as we come into this area, we've got the computers as well as lists of the fights. So you've got the Geth War, the fight for the homeworld, and the culture. So various interesting little bits to read as you're going around, I'm guessing. And this could be a centralized cockpit to do all that from. Now let's continue moving around the design. We'll pop out from this side door here, and then we'll head down the side. So this was this side corridor I was talking about before that you can see on the outside, and here is that really cool sort of wheel. Maybe some lighting could be added, and maybe just a giant ship with one of these wheels in it would be a really cool design. We'll have to see what we can come up with together as well, because now I've seen this, I just really like this wheel idea, and I feel like a bigger wheel, maybe combined it with a few different segments into a ship, could look absolutely beautiful, unless it looks like a sort of bicycle then if you put too many wheels on it. But let's continue heading through this labyrinth of corridors, and we'll enter ourselves into a very simplistic bridge. So this is what I was talking about. This ship, it has this very sort of survival sort of atmosphere to it, but the only issue is them thrusters are then tucked inside it. Let's have a go at a quick little test flight. We'll man this little seat here and we'll get some acceleration. So not bad acceleration. Let's turn our turning radius. Quite slow on the turning, but that wheel will probably lock off as we gain in acceleration as well to cause less issues. But can we actually increase the speed of that wheel? Should we see if we can get the rotor? Find the rotor. There it is. And let's put the speed of the velocity. So it's got -8 point. I think it should be like velocity of 30. Give it a bit more torque, perhaps. There we go. Oh, it's got a bit of effect on the ship, that. Let's turn the inertia dampers back on and see exactly what it's trying to do to us in comparison. Oh, it's giving us a little bit of flex, but it does look a hell of a lot more funky. But at the same time, it's probably not going to be very safe because the lock-off point isn't too high at all. Look at that thing go. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Check out this ship on the workshop, and if you'd like me to check out your design as well, let me know in the comment sections and I'll give it a quick little look. Anyway, thanks for watching and I will see you next time.